Let's get educated. That's why we're here, to bring you the stories impacting K-12 classrooms and college campuses. It's time for a little education.
Hello, everyone. I am Katie Patrick, joined by the David Fiorazzo.
Yes.
Who is always there.
Ready to go. Let's do it. Dive
All
in.
right.
Come on.
He's going swimming, which you might be able to do if you go to a summer camp. But we have a Pride summer camp for kids as young as 5 years old, and they may not be going swimming. They're too busy being showered with praise and affirmation by major news networks about all of the pride that they can, I guess, exhibit.
Just the words that I just heard there together, some of them to me shouldn't be together. LGBTQ summer camp and showered.
Oh, true.
And kids ages 5 through 13.
Yes.
Praise. So the new country pride camp was described as welcoming. I welcome you, Katie. Welcoming.
Thank you.
Open tent community of LGBTQ plus young people. And again, did we mention age 5? 5 years old? So think about it now. A lot of you are older, don't remember your kids when they were that young. But think about a 5-year-old. Think about what the LGBTQ community is trying to normalize and teach. And then think about whether that's appropriate for someone as young as 5. So this is a Pride summer camp for children. Again, emphasis. Promoted and celebrated as much needed and inclusive on an NBC segment. They did this little thing, and let's just watch this video. We'll come back. We got a lot to talk about.
For many kids, camp helps add some sparkle to their summers.
They're a little chunkier.
At New Country Pride Camp, that sparkle is a lot more literal. The 14th Street Y and New Country Day Camp are in the middle of Pride Camp. Now, in its 3rd year, the program is specifically aimed at serving LGBTQ plus kids and children of people in those communities. These Pride campers from across the New York City area have come for a taste of typical summer fun.
Everybody here is part of the LGBTQ community, so you have a lot of people that are just like you.
From my experience, when a bunch of people in the same community gather together, it's so much easier to talk to them and make friends.
Camp staples like swimming, rock climbing, and arts and crafts. But the campers also get some more pride-centric activities, all with a focus on inclusivity and self-expression.
I did a lot. I'm a battle-worn, zombified vampire.
And LGBTQ plus counselors are also on hand. They help show the kids the joy and connection of being in the queer community.
I have these trans kids coming to me and saying, are kids going to use my pronouns in middle school? And it's tough to see them recognize that school is not going to be the same as Pride Camp.
If this camp existed when I was younger, I would be a very different person. I think my internalized homophobia would be much less.
It makes me feel like there are people who know about this, and it's not just a thing I made up.
Oh, I just love that whole idea. They look so happy.
They look so happy.
I'm out of here. No, are
you going to camp? Is that what you're doing?
I was intrigued watching the beginning, and then about 15 seconds in, my heart just broke for these kids. These are 5-year-old kids, and this has all been normalized. This is the plan. It has been for decades and decades, and here they are at a camp. And one of my first thoughts, Katie, was, what were the parents thinking?
Yay.
I guess they're convinced that their kids are LGBTQ, maybe because they are, maybe because they were homophobic when they were growing up and they don't want their kids to be.
In their mind, they're atoning for their sins by doing that. Did you hear what that guy said? If I would have gone to this camp, if they would have had this, I wouldn't have been so homophobic. Adults can live their lives the way they want, but for children ages 5 to 13, why are you pushing this on them? The let kids be kids starts when they're kids. Let them be children who want to go to summer camp and run around and play sports and go swimming and, yes, do arts and crafts and sing songs and do this. But sitting there and putting on makeup while you have these adults surrounding you who look like clowns. Like at that age, they're
Well, it is. It's a clown show.
It's a clown
It is
show.
a clown show, just like the drag shows that are
Yeah.
clown shows that are sexualized and they're perverted.
Yeah.
And I'll say it again, these are demonic movements.
And when I was a kid and the Girl Scouts were still the Girl Scouts and I went off to summer camp, you learned skills. I learned how to build a fire. I learned how to do archery. I learned how to go, well, we went in a kayak and it was quite interesting experience, but because we tipped the boat, but it was still fun. But you
rock the
learned
boat.
songs.
Don't tip the- oh, that's
don't
tip
tip
the
the
boat.
boat, baby.
Yeah,
No, that's
don't
wrong.
tip the boat, baby.
But you learned skills and you had fun doing it, and you learned to become a strong, independent girl. Not you have to. What is that one kid? A zombified vampire? Like, is this why you're sending your kid off to camp so they can become a zombie vampire or something or other?
There is something I want to ask you and get your take on. One of the, I guess, Feldman, who was Feldman? I guess one of the adults. I lost my place now. Doggone it. Oh, here it is. I have these trans kids come up to me and say, are kids going to use my pronouns in middle school? What's the age of middle school again?
13, 14.
Okay. Middle school,
13,
they can use my
14.
pronouns. It's tough to see them recognize that school is not going to be the same as Pride Camp. So I'm a little confused because a lot of schools are all for pronouns. And people that choose not to go along with the charade and the clown show and the pronoun parade, they're the ones that are being punished. So most schools, that's the case. So I don't understand.
No, we're at the point now where they're trying to have it both ways, pretending like we have to have these camps and we have to do all these things because we're the minority and all this, and we get victimized and all this. We don't have a safe space. They have it all. They have it all and everywhere. They have it all. But now they're like, I have these trans kids come up to me and say, no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you do not. Rachel Feldman, you do not have that. She's making this up. Maybe one kid. Not
exactly.
I have kids making like this is a common thing. Like, oh yeah, these kids just come up to me and ask, hey, are kids going to use my pronouns in middle school?
Well, exaggeration and sensationalism, to use a point. Didn't we do a story on something that started here and then ended in genocide? Remember we did that story, I think, earlier this week, I think. I lose track. But we did that, and you're going, okay, so how do you make this jump? So not just one trans kid. I have these trans kids.
Oh, yes, they come up to me, and they ask me these things. No,
yeah,
no,
they
don't.
5-year-olds are
You're
concerned
lying.
about pronouns. No, they're not.
No, they're not.
They're just trying to get through the day and figure out what they're going to have for lunch and who they're going to play with at recess. They don't care about sexuality. Correct. But adults, again, they're sexualizing the children. And if this would happen in a public park or at a mall where an adult that is not one of the parents goes up and is talking to kids about these things, you would be arrested.
Yep.
And this is where we're at today, Katie.
Instead, we just send them off to Pride camps.
Yep,
because
okay.
That's what we do. That's how it goes.
Okay, we've got to move on. We took too much time. Still to come, the LA School District has just created a step-by-step guide to help elementary schools start pride clubs for little kids that include lessons on activism and protest art. What else would you expect from California? That's next.
All right, well, get ready for some activism this fall with the Los Angeles Unified School District, which it's only the second largest district in the whole nation.
Now, they've never been activist about anything
Never
before.
been activist before, but here it is. So they're going to be activists, as always. I guess they're just giving us a preview of what more is to come.
There's more. But
There's
wait,
now there's a guide they have for organizing rainbow clubs for elementary students. We just talked about 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
They're included in elementary. This guide includes lessons on LGBTQ+, liberation, activism, and protest art. Okay, then. The district explains in a document that the groups are for LGBTQ+ elementary students and their friends. Would it be the creepy adults who are trying to indoctrinate them into believing this? Are those their friends? That's what I wonder. Now, it links to a 20-page Rainbow Club activity guide that was produced by the school district's Human Relations, Diversity, and Equity Department.
Oh, there we go.
That's where all your money's going.
Wait a minute. What happened to
taxpayers?
inclusion?
Oh, yeah.
What
Ooh,
happened to
good.
inclusion? Just human relations,
DE? Where's the
diversity,
I?
and equity?
Where's the I?
Where's inclusion?
Yes, they provided a detailed list of discussion topics and lessons for this lovely guide.
Oh, do tell.
So it contains art, books, games, and other activities related to the LGBTQ plus identity for elementary students.
Oh, look at the guide there, Katie. Love is love.
5-year-olds are
There it
going to
is.
identify as a unicorn if based on all the things that they put out. Like
Love is love.
yeah, love is love, all of it. We've got pride. Yes, we do. We've got pride. How about you?
Why do we never hear, I know I've asked this question before, why do we never hear truth is truth?
Nah,
But
because
always
it's
love is
my
love.
truth.
So they're redefining what love
Yes.
is. Anyway, go ahead, Katie.
As the guide states, rainbow
Yes.
clubs are inclusive. There's the inclusivity.
There, okay.
Spaces for elementary students to explore LGBTQ plus related topics. It's a space for celebrating many types of identities, including lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, non-binary, queer, questioning, intersex, ace, and two-spirit identities.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no, that's not part of it. Boy is not, sorry. No, no boy.
Two spirits.
No
so
boy.
Two
No bueno. A section titled LGBTQ plus liberation discusses political activism, saying that activists are people who work to change things they don't think are fair about the world.
Who decides
They
what's
speak
fair?
up when they see something that isn't right.
Who decides what's right?
And work with other people to come up with solutions.
And who comes up with the solutions?
This is called fighting for social justice.
Okay, and what have we told you before? Whenever you put a word in front of justice to describe it, you're not defining justice. True
Correct.
justice. It's something else.
Stop that, and you and your truth is truth. Now, more importantly, transvestites.
Okay, vestites.
They're back. The guide goes on to discuss two incredible activists of color, Sylvia Rivera and Marsha Johnson, the founders of the Street Transvestite Action Revolutionaries.
Okay, then.
Now, the guide states that the duo sometimes referred to themselves as drag queens, adding that today they might still identify as drag queens or they might identify as transgender. We don't know, but transvestites are back in vogue. Isn't that great, David? No? Yeah, I didn't think so either. All right, now on the topic of art, because it's all about expressing yourself and being artistic. The guide tells that club advisors to create protest art together. I mean, nothing about community like making some protest art together. That really brings the people together. If the time allows, and provide examples of signs with some left-wing slogans like no humans illegal or no ban, no wall. And then, of course, love is love. I mean, you just make some hearts, put love is love.
Yeah,
you
that's
can all
right.
color it together. It'll be great. There is an activity called Love is Love, and it instructs students to watch a short film about two male classmates who are romantically interested in one another. Can I just reiterate? This is for elementary again. Don't worry. It includes discussion questions such as, had you seen this or other movies with LGBTQ plus characters? Or do you think it's important to have queer or trans characters in a movie or TV show?
Well, Disney does. They've been doing it.
And that's why Disney does what it does, because it normalizes this. Now, there's an activity called We've Got Pride, and it asks students, who has been to a Pride event? Tell us about it. What else do you know about Pride? It urges club administrators to introduce students to the book, 'Twas the Night Before Pride.
Oh, gosh.
Now, okay, Santa Claus already took over the true meaning of Christmas, right? With a lot of people.
Yeah.
But now you're trying to get Pride to take over Santa Claus. Even Santa Claus is getting booted from his gig.
'Twas the night before.
Yeah. And then, of course, they want to prepare you for going to your first Pride parade, so they have an activity where you're supposed to draw your own Pride float. I think I would draw a sinking ship if I was them. That's just me. But anyway, we are going to move on from this. Unless you got more to say.
No, I've got a headache, and this whole thing
Migraine,
is
maybe?
just so disturbing. It really
little.
is. Just a little.
All right, well, a first grade teacher in Texas is fired after posting several racist tweets that went viral. Oh, and by the way, she's black.
Gasp.
I thought that can't happen. I'm confused. I'm probably not allowed to say that. It's all right. We're going to show you what she said after the break.
Today's show is sponsored by our friends at MyPillow. Save up to 66% on pristine quality bedding, towels, slippers, signature pillows, and much more when you use the code EDUCATED. That's EDUCATED. Educated. Support this show and a great American company.
right. Well, racism.
Or reverse racism. I'm kidding.
Racism, as it turns out, is not limited to anyone. There's a teacher at an former teacher at an elementary school in Texas who was fired after several racist, anti-white messages on social media were picked up by conservatives and then, of course, went viral. Danielle Allen used to teach first grade at Thompson Elementary School in the Mesquite Independent School District near Dallas,
Texas,
when she decided to post some missives, they're calling it missives, against white people on her social media. Let's just take a little look.
Yeah, what did she say?
Well, she decided to post a picture saying, you see a white person there, and it says, woke up to my sister being the biggest disappointment I've ever seen. Look at the color of the arm wrapped around my sister. And it has like 92 different like crying emojis. And then it says, my poor sis laid up with a pasty. And then ... And then in all caps, in my beep house. Oh, a little aggressive. Okay.
A pasty? I'm not sure if I've heard that. Oh, okay.
Here, this
it's
is
not
why.
pasty.
No. Just look at me.
Okay.
This.
Yes.
David, your skin tone does not reflect this.
Okay.
Okay, back to it.
Okay.
Now, we also have a tweet message. I don't know. That is actually of a text message, so it's kind of interesting. It says, I'm inconsolable. Not I'm inconceivable, but I am inconsolable. How many white classmates, it puts in quotes, does she have? My sis letting all of Europe take turns on her. The disappointment I feel right now. Our parents raised us better than this. This girl spent all of her dowry and now laid up with a white.
What? Well, my parents raised us better than this. I'm a little confused about that.
Yeah. So basically, yeah. She doesn't like white people. Let's just say that she is not. She even says it. I'm 29 and just got fined. Ooh.
She has a low.
What's she gonna do with 30? She's dirty. Like I don't know. She says she's queen, pick me, and logical for free. I don't understand this.
I don't know
pro-black men and black supremacist.
I noticed the communist fist there in the bottom left.
Exclamation point. She also just said, not 16 years ago when she was a teenager.
Yeah, just right now, as a teacher in the public school.
As her 29 being fine.
She said,
I enjoy being racist. I'm never changing.
Okay.
Okay, well.
She has that prerogative.
So there she is.
Yeah.
Little first graders, that's your teacher. Oh, wait, it's not because she was fired. But here's what happened. She had a video she posted later, and she smiled as she promised to do everything in her power to break up the biracial relationship. Like she's doing things.
Really?
Like she's got promises because you know what we do when we want to address something that is that's on our mind with a family member. We take it to social media. We post a video. We complain in it. It's what we do. All right. So in the video, she says that why shouldn't I hate white people? She actually said that in another post as well because she doesn't like the white people. So what does this all come down to considering she was supposed to be a first grade teacher? Well, she claimed that she had talked to her school administrators because guess what? They were alerted of this and that they had reassured her that her job had been safe. And she tweeted out, letting people know, yes, y'all have found my job. They told me to delete the post, but my job's safe since I did not directly wish harm on all white people.
Oh, jeez.
They laughed and told me to watch what I say, and I'll be good to go. Being a great teacher pays off very well when they know your true self.
Next. Next.
The
So
next
what really
day,
happened?
however, the school posted a message saying that Allen was no longer employed at the school and was not eligible for rehire.
Oh, trouble in Texas.
As the message said, nevertheless, the highly offensive statements posted to her, I guess, X account or Twitter account, whatever, do not reflect the values and standards of Mesquite, the school district, and the district condemns them in the strongest terms. And don't worry, she has since deleted her social media account, and she has been removed from the staff directory of the school. So let's see how that works out for you.
I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised that I wouldn't think that she would have been punished, but
yeah, well, that is it. All right, well, still to come, we have a very talented 14-year-old comic book writer who pays it forward in a big way, making sure that elementary kids don't go hungry when they head back to school. So we have a good story, is what I'm trying to tell you. So let's talk about it after the break.
If you have a smartphone, tablet, Roku, or Apple TV, consider downloading the Freedom Project Media app. It's 100% free and includes all of our weekly shows, plus lecture series, archive programs, and award-winning animated videos for families like the Presidential Minute, Battles of America, and Heroes of the West. Don't rely on the social media giants to keep you informed. Simply download the Freedom Project Media app from your app store and allow notifications. And we'll let you know when a new video is ready.
All right, we've got a story about a tech boy giving back to his elementary school. How? By paying off students' lunch balances. I guess students have a balance of money in their account for lunch money or whatever. So I've been out of school for a long time. So Katie she just had to shake her head affirmatively.
That's how they do it now.
Yes, David, you're on the right track. But let's watch this video and set it up.
Sometimes kids' only meal that they can eat in the day is at school. So if they don't have the money to pay for that, then that is a big problem.
DeJuan Strickland was that kid.
I was in 4th grade.
A student at McCurdy Elementary in Florissant.
I didn't even know what could possibly be my next meal in the day, and it was definitely a struggle.
No money to fill the emptiness in his stomach while sitting in the cafeteria.
Seeing all the other kids around me be able to eat their school lunches and I couldn't it was really rough. It was really rough.
The now 14-year-old wants to save the day for other students who still have negative lunch balances ahead of the first day of school.
Honestly, it would be a life-changing experience. Just knowing that I helped to impact other kids and help them out in their lives.
A superhero to stop child hunger. This teen comic book author is finding a way to fill a need. His GoFundMe to bring kids out of this circumstance at the lunch table has exceeded its goal. DeJuan now able to pay off every student's lunch debt at McCurdy Elementary School with a $400 personal check to the school's principal.
Way to go, nice. DeJuan.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're ending on a story like this because as the article says, I love it when young people not only show an entrepreneurial spirit, but exhibit a compassionate heart of giving. And it's great that I'm sure it's modeled by his parents because usually that's what happens. So there he is,
so
tech boy.
He's like an entrepreneur already. I mean, he's already has that spirit in him that he'll do great things in life beyond high school. If he's already, he thinks about others and he's trying to give back to those around him because he knows what it's like. So his empathy level is up here and more people need to get on his level. So he has that, because he's called Tech Boy. He has his comic books as well that he's written so far. Again, he's 14. But instead of being like, oh, I'm going to make tons of money off this stuff or whatever, like any money he's getting, he's doing good things with it. Right? So he also put out that GoFundMe to be able to help eliminate these negative lunch balances that students have. I mean, they can't even go into the school year on a positive note if they're already in the negative, to be able to just eat lunch. So they're over $5,000. If you want to help them out, still do it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's even by the time we're doing this show, I'm sure it's even higher. So I just love the fact that this is a teenager helping pay off the school lunch debts for kids in his elementary school.
That's really cool.
Where he went to elementary school.
And he does have a YouTube channel called Team Tech Boy if you want to check it out there. So something kind of nice.
Very cool. DeJuan Strickland, 14 years old. And I'm just impressed when I see things like this. You don't see kids nowadays because usually they're raised very, how should I say, spoiled, undisciplined, narcissistic. I'm sure we could come up with a lot more words.
Lot
This
of
young
attitudes.
man, kudos. And I'm sure that's a reflection on his mom or parents,
All right.
right?
Well, make sure you're hitting that like button if
Yes.
you're out there right now. I think I see you. All right. If you could also, send us your feedback. Let us know your thoughts on all of the things, on all of matter of topics, because I know there are a lot of topics that you have opinions on. Now, for David and myself, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and thank you for supporting this show. What do you got in there? Anyway.
It's empty right now. I was just taking it.
Until next time, stay educated.